In terms of continuous improvement strategy, we find that the top performing companies have a number of things in common that differentiates them from those that are kind of also rans, or those who struggle to really extract maximum benefit from ongoing benefit from their continuous improvement strategy. And a few of these that come to mind is, firstly, it's not just a collection of projects driven by the CFO or something. These accounting-based, dollar-based projects, important though they are critically important, but they need to be a part of the process of sustained competitive advantage that's achieved through a properly integrated continuous improvement system. They're not functionally driven, and I'd say they're owned by the CEO, and they become the strategy. They're owned and driven by the CEO as the strategy to create competitive advantage. And it's about designing and building the organization itself so that the fabric of the organization and how it operates becomes the competitive weapon that they take to the market in the competitive wars. And many of them are defining it as building the business system of how they operate. And if you look at the well-known cases of Toyota and the Toyota production system, that's not just about production, it's how the business operates. Alcoa with its Alcoa business system, exactly the same. DuPont, the DuPont production system. Now these are all very similar names, and they come out of the well-known Toyota story. Then you've got the Fonterra way. What Fonterra is doing is saying, how do we operate our business? And let's continually redefine that by engaging all the people in defining in great detail how they operate all aspects of their business.
Top performing companies have traditionally moved beyond Lean and Six Sigma. So you'll find that they've focused their initial efforts on project-based improvements. If you look at the typical non-conformances in these companies, they are 65% of non-conformances are situational problems, difficult to put projects against those. So they've realized they've had to go and engage the workforce. So they've moved beyond project into engagement. And also then they've started to link those pockets of excellence into an end-to-end supply chain strategy.
AMR Research every year for the last 5 years has done an industry survey together with leaders in the industry to define who are the top 25 and what characterizes those top 25. And you see companies like the PepsiCos, the Dells, the Procter & Gambles, the Apples, the Walmarts of the world. Now what differentiates these companies? Well, these companies start off by sensing demand at the shelf. So they are orientated towards the consumer, and they translate and make balanced trade-offs as they translate that demand from the shelf all the way back into operations. Now, these strategies are not bottom-up pushed. They are in fact top-down driven. So the leadership team is very aggressively involved in transforming the business. This is not small change. This is transformational change in the business. So if you take, for example, Steve Jobs at Apple, you take, for example, A.G. Lafley at Procter & Gamble, you take Cisco's supply chain strategy. These were led by the executives of these organizations because they've had fundamental impact on the way the business operates. So the characteristics are end-to-end operations. The other characteristic is the ability to build relationships with buyers and customers to be able to sense demand, to be able to make profitable trade-offs as you translate that demand signal back into operations. So change management is a big aspect of performance. Metrics are a huge issue. Most companies, still organized in silos, have buckets of functionally orientated silos that, even though they may well be integrated, are not necessarily promoting end-to-end process performance. So again, metrics that evolve with the transformation, starting with metrics like on-shelf availability or profitable perfect order performance, are all characteristics of these companies. So I would say, if you had to say to me, what's the one aspect that really differentiates these companies, I would say leaders that have decided that this is a transformation initiative and it's end-to-end, starting with consumer demand.